sixth week of the training vlog, I think. Volume was a lot better this week. I kind of forgot to do all of the, hey, it's Monday and I did all the things today and I ran and it was great kind of stuff this week. So I will run you through my training real quick. Started off on Monday with an easy 10K. Things were feeling good, but I could definitely still feel some pain somewhere. But I think it was falling much more towards the normal, like, existence's pain level of pain rather than like, ow, something hurts kind of pain. It was it was 41. I swear to God, it's 41 every morning. Like every morning it's 41 degrees now. And I'm not complaining because it could be much cooler. It could also be much warmer. But it does get a little old. But I'm not going to complain because it's so much better than summer. So yes, so 10K on Monday. Tuesday, I just did 7K on the treadmill. I went till the watch beeped. It was also fine. And absolutely nothing of note that day. Wednesday, I did 11, did the usual 9-mile lake loop, had like 1K on the front and 2K on the back, and a little bit more on the back because it's not just 3K difference. But that was... my legs felt a little bit heavy on that one, but altogether I really don't think it was that bad. It was also a little warm again. Still nothing like what we were dealing with this summer. Nothing was really hurting. Everything was feeling pretty good. I wore the New Balance Beacons again on those. I'm happy with them. I like them. I think they're good shoes. I'm glad I have a backup pair of them because they seem to be going out of fashion. This is the original Beacons, not the Beacon 2s. I don't know about those. I'm sure they're better. They could be worse. I don't know. New Balance just changes things for no good reason. But have been enjoying them, and I like them for those medium long runs during the week. Thursday was a rest day. It was an all caps rest day. It was an I'm not allowed to do anything rest day, and that was a great idea. I was initially thinking I could do bike rides on all of my days off, but definitely playing it by ear, especially this week coming back from that really far down week because of some pains. Also, it was good because on Wednesday I had a meeting with a GAIT analysis physical therapy guy. It's something I've been really skeptical of because I feel like what they're going to tell you is usually not helpful. And I'll get into it more later, but I got some really valuable stuff out of it. So, but I did do some PT exercises and like ran a mile on the treadmill as well. And so that was even more mileage. Friday did another 7K on the treadmill, nothing of note. And then Saturday I did 15. We usually, like, people will start at 6 and then like a lot of them that start at 6 will loop back to the same place at 7 and then run more miles. So I got out at about 6:30, did 3 miles with someone else who wanted to do 3 miles ahead of time. And then we circled back and I did 12 with another group. It was almost exactly the same run in terms of stats as I had done 2 weeks ago. I ran for 1 second longer, I think, on Saturday. I had thought that 2 weeks ago was entirely too fast. I think it was given the conditions, given that I was just coming back from a hard race the weekend before. This time it felt completely different. Everything was behaving, nothing really hurt. I think my right arch like felt tight for a little while there, but it went away and everything was great. Felt fine. So great way to end the week. Had 41.3 miles. Today is Sunday. I didn't bike today either. I figured no reason to really push it this week. Did nothing of quality. So adding on more not quality probably isn't going to give me that much value. What I did do was mow the backyard. We had all of our leaves like dumped on the ground. So I got to mow the front and backyards and that took like 3 hours. So that's my exercise for the day and it's fine. It didn't hurt anything. So now I want to talk about the GAIT training thing that I did on Wednesday. It was in the afternoon. I was able to leave work to go do it. We started off by, he just sort of measured how much everything bent and how far things could go before they hurt or whatever. One of the first tests was of my ankle dorsiflexion. It is generally just not good. Without doing any stretching or exercises, the best I can usually get is left leg, knee can touch the wall while my toes are also on the wall, like my big toes on the wall. That's like the absolute minimum you kind of want. Anything less than that would be strange. And then the right one is that, but like maybe a centimeter of extra dorsiflexion, which is, you know, better than none, but not a lot. So that was one of the first tests we did, and he was like, okay, well, this is probably like something we should keep in mind as we go forward with this. Everything else was good. He said my hips were strong, my hamstrings were more than adequately flexible. He filmed me while I was running on the treadmill from a bunch of different angles in slow motion. Watching that footage was excruciating. You don't want to watch yourself run in slow motion. Everything looks awful. Your feet sound really loud when they hit. Mine in particular, I have it so when I'm like, if this is the landing foot and this is my heel back here, I will like kind of do all the rotation in the air and then like hit here and then just whoop my foot down. So it's like very slappy sounding. The PT guy said that it was probably related to the fact that I don't have a lot of any really ankle dorsiflexion to speak of, that building that dorsiflexion not only just on a like day-to-day basis, but building it on an ongoing basis so that I have some like real actual gains would probably help with a lot of the injury stuff. The way he put it was, you're gonna move. So like the way, if you're running, you're going to move. If your ankle can't do what it needs to do, you're still gonna keep moving, but everything else on up the rest of the chain is going to have to compensate for that. After looking at the video, he used the RunScribe pods, which are kind of like strides, but the way they measure, they put one on each foot, and the way they measure is essentially supposed to like figure out, hey, do you stay on one foot longer than the other? Where is your toe off point? So like, are you toeing off with your big toe? Are you toeing off kind of evenly? Or are you toeing off from the outside? That part was helpful because we could see that I was kind of toeing off from the outside. I was never really rotating in to to where the big toe could do anything. Let's see, what else was it? Everything else from the RunScribe pods really wasn't helpful. He's like, yeah, it's pretty much even on both legs. That doesn't really tell us anything. So we moved on to the next thing, which was looking at the biomechanics, seeing how I landed funny. And after all of that, he determined that the dorsiflexion was probably going to give us the most gains. Working on dorsiflexion of the ankle was going to give me the most benefit as our primary motivation. So that's what we're going to go after. Additionally, glute max strength and hamstring strength is going to be another thing we're going to work on. The way he put it was, we're going to get the most gains out of the dorsiflexion. But if we can't really get anything out of that, what we have to do is strengthen everything that's compensating for the dorsiflexion so that you're in the best possible situation given what the constraints are. What we did do afterwards was go through a couple of like 4 PT exercises, most of which were designed to improve dorsiflexion of the ankle. Those gave me about an inch on each leg, just doing an abbreviated number of sets, and I don't think we even did all of the actual exercises. So he thought it was a very good thing that within, one session, just trying to do the bare minimum there, we managed to get a whole inch on each leg of dorsiflexion. So he said, we can probably actually improve that quite a bit. It's still important to go ahead and get those hamstring and glutes stronger. That's certainly not going to be a bad thing, but we will probably be able to make some non-marginal gains in dorsiflexion, which will help with my gait going forwards. So I would like to show just a couple of the things that he had me do. So I'm going to run you through those and sort of talk you through them as I'm doing them. Okay, you guys are going to have to pardon the dog here. He wants to stay in the shot. So this first thing here is called a MOBO board. It is very interesting because it takes out the actual like small toes in this slot. So you're really focusing on the big toe here. I'm gonna turn this around so that I'm not like up on the camera to show you how it works. But the first thing that I was prescribed was these, okay, I need you to move over just a little bit, baby. Come here. There you go. Okay. So I think it's toe rocks is what they call them. And what you want to do is keep a straight leg all the way down, don't bend your knee, and just rock from one side, so like front side and then back side. But you want to do it in a controlled manner without actually like dying, which is kind of what I do. So this is actually my stronger foot, and I'm still having this much trouble with it. So what the first thing that the book says, or I guess it's an online guide says, is to do 30 of these. I can't do that. So what I actually have been doing is breaking up into 3 sets of 10, where 1 rep is front and back, and then back to the middle. So you do 30 of those, or what I'm doing is 3 sets of 10. Then you take off the little thingies and you move it just like this. So now you're rocking it the other way. And this is harder for me, is this direction. And you see I'm having to really work at it. And 3 sets of 10 on this too. So I already did all of that earlier today, so I'm not going to keep doing it. But it's definitely a tough exercise, and it does help with the mobility aspect for the ankle. The next thing are just basic basic just sort of like ankle mobilization. What you want to do is attach this little super band here to the other end to some sort of I don't know, object that isn't movable. I have very few of those in my house, so let's just pretend that that's what I've done here. What he had me do was put it underneath my ankle bones, these little guys here, and then that's going to pull backwards on you, and you just want to sort of move the knee over, make sure it's going straight, and that the heel is staying on the floor. And yeah, I think I'm supposed to do 15 to 20 of those to start, and then do more as they get easier. So this is just sort of a basic thing, and this is one that I'm supposed to do every day. For this one, you're supposed to have 2 kettlebells. I only have 1. I've been doing these at the gym, not actually at home, but for demonstration purposes, pretend that there are 2 of these. This one's really heavy. It's 11.4 kilograms, which is 25 pounds. It's a little heavier than it ought to be, but it'll do. So, okay, let's see. I'll scoot all the way back and then move forward to where you can see me. This is super hard. Okay, now you can see my feet. Okay, so what you want to do, sort of bend your knees so you're working that ankle dorsiflexion there. And that's the most I can go, which probably explains why I'm not great at skiing, because I can't really sit back much, because I can't really get over much. But anyway, so you're going to dorsiflex as much as you can, have your two bell thingies together, sorry Murray, and then just sort of walk in a controlled fashion on your toes. These are supposed to be called, I think they're like soleus carries is what he calls them. But small controlled steps for like 30 seconds, and ideally not with a dog right in front of you. Those are 3 of the things that I'm supposed to be doing to help with the dorsiflexion. It is pretty much every day for the band thing. Everything else is supposed to be like, throw it in 1 to 2 times a week. The idea is that you definitely still want it to be manageable. This week turned out really well. I've kept the shin stuff sort of under control. The heel cups have kept the tendonitis, the insertional tendonitis under control. And what was the other one? Oh, the knee thing. The knee thing seems to be also pretty much under control and gone. So yeah, I'm hoping that I can continue this. I got through the first big real road bump, and I had a down week, but I jumped right back up to 41 this week. I was hoping to do 17 this week, but we settled on 15 instead. I'm definitely anxious. I think in a positive way, like good anxiety. Like I'm ready to get to a new sort of distance PR. I've done 16 point something before, so I'd really like to make the jump past that soon. I think a lot of first-time marathoners are anxious about the 20 milers. I'm definitely ready to get there, because you say, oh, I did 15. That feels pretty good. But then you have 11 miles left still, and that seems like a lot. I am anxious to get to the point where I have single-digit miles left to run to complete the marathon, because that will make me feel better. And I'm sure that Hansen's does a 16-mile long run. I want to get up there. I want to sort of hit a new level with the long run. So maybe next week, maybe not really sure. Either way, very happy with this week. Things are going well. I have much less time than I would like until the marathon, but I think it's 1 more week of November, 4 weeks of December, 3 weeks. Okay, so I still have like 8 weeks, 7 or 8 weeks. I don't have a calendar right in front of me, but 7 or 8 weeks, that's still lots of time. Of course, if you take 2 out for a taper, then suddenly you're down to like 5 or 6 weeks. But what is, what will be. And all I can do now is try to stay healthy and prepare as well as I can. So I hope you like this week. I thought that my feeble attempts to show you the PT stuff, I hope that was helpful, or at least like you understood what was going on. So yeah, that's this week, and I will be back next week with another episode. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, share, tell your friends. I would really appreciate it. Give me feedback. Tell me what's good, what's not, what you want more of, what you want less of. I assume you want less of me talking to the camera. Working on that, but I'm not good at it. So yeah, thank you all very much, and I'll see you next week.